Hi, and welcome back to Highest Light Consciousness. My name is Linda, and this channel is about helping you to illuminate your light within that empowers you to live in your highest light consciousness. Welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. There's been a lot of changes going on, sort of, in the world, things happening. There's going to be a lot more things happening. A lot of great things to come, I promise you. But today I wanted to circle back around to something that I mentioned when I started this channel. One of the things I mentioned was regarding empaths. E-M-P-A-T-H, empaths. And what that is, how to know if you are one. I had linked a questionnaire several videos several videos ago that helps you to determine whether or not you are an empath or not. It's one way. There's a lot of information about this. I'm gonna that you can find, but something that helped me and on my journey when I finally realized this, which wasn't too long ago, that I'm just going to ask a couple questions so that you might sort of identify. If you've ever been told that you're way too sensitive and you need to toughen up, does that ring any bells with anyone? That when you're in situations at different times in your life, you can have people that they gravitate towards you. They tend to tell you sort of like their whole life story. They feel very open to talking to you. If you've never felt really at home in this world, on this planet, since you've been here, if you find that when people tell you things that you feel it like it's your own, and that you can have different physical symptoms where you're actually picking up other people's, I'll say energy for this in this instance, that you're picking up their energy and their hurt and their pain. And when you hear stories about things happening, that you feel it like deep in your heart, deep in your soul, you might be an empath. I'm actually going to go through the questionnaire with everybody today. You can follow along, and I'm also going to leave the link again in the description box below. Wanted to say if you're finding value in this content, if in these videos, if it's helping you at all, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the top bell for all notifications, so that you'll get a little the little red play button in anytime I release any new videos. You can find me on Instagram at Highest Light Consciousness. It's the same name to keep things easy. I'm still working on putting things on that, and working on guided meditation for everybody. It's going to be a light infusion, and a lot of other things will be coming that will help everybody to understand how to best help at this time with everything going on in the world. And I wanted to focus a little bit on empaths because if you are doing your research, like I've talked about, understanding the truth, the whole truth about things, which requires digging. It requires tenacity. It requires you to kind of dig into some things and not take things at face value. Those days are pretty much over. I will say a couple things about pretty much the mainstream news is they're all owned by the same corporations. So, and they're some have more truth than others, but I would just, like I had said in previous videos, recommend that you use what's called the Brave, B-R-A-V browser. It looks like a lion's face when you bring it up in orange and white. And I would go on with DuckDuckGo to when you're doing research, trying to find out the truth. That will help you. because things are not what they seem. And for empaths, the reason I'm mentioning that is for empaths, it can be much more magnified when you find out the truth about a lot of things that have been going on for a very long time on this planet. That can be very disturbing right now, because truth, I'll just encourage everybody, truth is power. Whole truth, full truth, not watered down truth, not cover up truth. You know, there's because you'll find explanations for things that will cover up what the actual real truth is. Apologize, I forgot to actually put my microphone on just to make you laugh. So I hope that's better. So I just want to encourage everybody that there's going to be a lot of things coming out in the next 30 to 60 to 90 days that will be that will be very, very disturbing. But for those of us that have been awakened for a while now, and some of us it's been for a long time, these are very exciting times, because we're shifting into a whole new reality, and it's going to be so much better. I promise you, regardless of whatever it is that you're seeing on the news and all of that, it's going to be so much better. So if you are out there and you don't know if you're an empath or not, I'm going to run through some of these questions and you can follow along with me, okay? I hope all this makes sense. And the reason I'm saying that is because, like I said, these things, we feel them and they can impact us much harder and much stronger for those of us that are empaths. And I never knew this for most of my life that I was, and I'm what's called full-blown. I'm what you would call an intuitive empath, and there's other different kinds of empaths as well. And I'm going to recommend a book for you as well by Judith Orloff. It's called, let me see how many hands I can get going here. It's called, let me see if I can do this, The Empath Survival Guide. And it's by Judith Orloff. I'm sorry if my finger's over. I got the questionnaire page. There she is, Judith Orloff. And like it says, she is a doctor. I've recommended it before. I'm going to put it in the description box below. So this will help you on your journey and empower you to know whether or not you are an empath. So then you know how to better take care of yourself, right? So we're going to get into it. So I'm going to read just a couple basic definitions. An empath is a person with the paranormal ability to apprehend the mental or emotional state of another individual. You know, have you ever, here's another question for you. Have you ever walked into a room and you know who's having a good day, who is really struggling, who is having a really bad day? You know, that it actually can really help you when dealing with people. I know with me, I mean, being an RN for a registered nurse for 27 years, I would have to say it really helped me, especially with dealing with physicians. That they can be it can be a little challenging because they're very busy, and it can be a really stressful environment dealing with a lot of sick patients. You know, they deal with all the time. So when you can tap into that, you can, I promise you, I know some of you may feel like, you know what, I think that might be me. And it can feel like it's not a gift. I'll just put it that way. It can feel like it's not a gift until you realize that you are an empath and what it means, and that it is a gift. And I'm gonna explain what my interpretation of what our role is for all of us empaths right now, and it's really awesome. Okay, so hang in for the rest of this. This might be a little bit longer. Okay, all right. Okay, so empaths are highly sensitive individuals who have a keen ability to sense what people around them are thinking and feeling. Psychologists may use the term empath to describe a person that experiences a great deal of empathy, often to the point of taking on the pain of others at their own expense. Anybody identify? Comment down below. Comment down below, you know, because trust me, I am with you, because I'm what you call full blown. And it is a gift. I promise you, it's a gift. I promise you. It will get better, but you know, I mean, sometimes it can really it can really not feel like a gift, you know. So a couple things, general types of empaths. Okay, the physical empaths. Those are like, you know, when you're especially attuned to people's physical symptoms and you can tend to absorb them into your own body. Emotional empaths, intuitive empaths. This is, I'll read that because I'm definitely one of those. I'm definitely a physical empath and an emotional empath. That's when you pick up on other people's emotions and you can become a sponge for their feelings. Both happy and sad. It works both ways. Thank goodness, right? Intuitive empaths. You experience extraordinary perceptions such as heightened intuition, telepathy, messages and dreams, animal and planet communication, as well as contact with the other side. That means beyond the veil, like I've talked about that before. Telepathic empaths receive intuitive information about others in present time. Let's see, there's mediumship empaths. They can access spirits on the other side. Anybody? That'd be me. Plant empaths, you can feel the needs of plants and connect with their essence. Earth empaths are attuned to changes in our planet, our solar system, and the weather. Animal empaths can tune into animals and communicate with them. How awesome is that, right? There's dream empaths and precognitive empaths. And they have premonitions about the future while awake or dreaming. So that's a little bit about some of the different kinds of empaths there are. And like I said, I highly recommend Judith Orloff's book. It will definitely help you on your journey, depending on how you score on this questionnaire. Okay. So if you have a pen or a pencil or anything like that, go ahead and give yourself a check for each one of these questions if you answer yes. Okay, so answering mostly yes or mostly no to each question. Okay, number one, have I ever been labeled overly sensitive, shy, or introverted? Number two, do I frequently get overwhelmed or anxious? Mostly yes or mostly no on these. Some of these are a little bit difficult to answer. And like I said, I'm going to link this questionnaire down below. Okay, so you can go ahead, you know, if you're whatever you're doing right now, if you just tap on the link and it will take you to it. Do arguments and yelling make me ill? Do I often feel like I don't fit in? Do crowds? Anybody? Okay, so this one, okay, this is number 5. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. Do crowds drain me, and do I need alone time to revive myself? It's much better with the shielding process. Remember, put yourself in a highest light shield. It's extremely, extremely effective. Okay, moving on. Do noise, odors, or nonstop talkers overwhelm me? Okay, I'm going to read it again. I'm going to read each of these twice so you can have a chance to answer them. Do noise, odors, or nonstop talkers overwhelm me? Do I have chemical sensitivities or a low tolerance for scratchy clothes? Do I have chemical sensitivities or a low tolerance for scratchy clothes? Do I prefer taking my own car to places so that I can leave early if I need to? Do I prefer taking my own car to places so that I can leave early if I need to? Do I overeat to cope with stress? Do I overeat to cope with stress? One of the things that I'll say about this is that a lot of people think that it's just like when you're emotional, like do you feel like eating, like if you feel like stressed or emotional. Sometimes a lot of empaths eat to ground themselves energetically. Just gonna throw that out there. Am I afraid of becoming suffocated by intimate relationships? Am I afraid of becoming suffocated by intimate relationships? When we get to the end of this, depending on how many you have yeses to, I'm going to tell you how much, what the results mean. Okay, at the end. Do I startle easily? Do I startle easily? Do I react strongly to caffeine or medication? Do I react strongly to caffeine or medications? Do I have a low threshold for pain? Do I have a low threshold for pain? Do I tend to socially isolate? Do I tend to socially isolate? Do I absorb other people's stress, emotions, or symptoms? Do I absorb other people's stress, emotions, or symptoms? I'm going to go back to the Walmart example, or say you're in the mall. You go in, you feel fine, you feel great. You come out, you feel like you need to just crawl in bed, right? Like you're just completely drained. That's that one right there. Because if you're unknowingly absorbing what is going on in a place, depending on what all the intentions of what is going on in the place, if you know what I'm saying. Like if it's a movie that, is about negative type things, just start tuning in and being aware of kind of how you feel. Because a lot of us have stifled, that are empaths, you'll end up putting up blocks or stifling that gift to be able to just survive in life, right? To be able to get, like as a nurse, what am I going to, I can't be curled up in a corner, boo-hooing the whole time. And that's not going to help anybody, you have to get to a point where you can, function, in life that way. And sometimes we put up these, barriers and these blocks where we're not feeling things, as much, right? Am I overwhelmed by multitasking, and do I prefer to do one thing at a time? Okay, am I overwhelmed by multitasking, and do I prefer to do one thing at a time? Do I replenish myself in nature? Do I replenish myself in nature? Do I need a long time to recuperate after being with difficult people or energy vampires? Do I need a long time to recuperate after being with difficult people or energy vampires? Energy vampires are people that will just suck the life out of you. They will, because they'll intuitively pick up on the fact that you are an empath, and they can really drain your energy and your life force like right out of you. And if you feel that, I'm back to the bathroom again. Go to the bathroom, regroup, do some deep breathing, return to center, shield yourself. And if you can at all, get out of the situation, I'd probably recommend it. And sometimes you need to put up, boundaries, right? And barriers depending on the situation, and depending on what kind of relation someone is to you, Do I feel better in small towns or the country rather than large cities? Do I feel better in small towns or the country rather than large cities? Do I prefer one-to-one interactions and small groups to large gatherings? Do I prefer one-to-one interactions and small groups to large gatherings? Okay, so now to calculate your results, add up all of your yeses, okay? And then I'm gonna, if you're doing this with me, I'm gonna give you a chance to add those up. And then I'll go over what the what it means if you So while you're adding up, sorry, this one's running a little bit long, but I feel like it's really important for people to understand if you are or not, if you are or are not an empath, and if you are, how strong are your empathic tendencies, right? Because sympathy is one thing, but empathy is different. Empathy is not the same as sympathy. And I find those are used sort of like simultaneously or like synonymously, and they're not. Empath, if you are an empath, okay, all right, so let me just go through the numbers, and I'm going to give you my take on empaths right now. So if you answered yes to 1 to 5 questions, okay, up to 5 questions, you are at least a partial empath, okay? 1 to 5 is a partial empath. If you answered yes to 6 to 10 questions, you have moderate empath tendencies, okay? So if you're a yes, anywhere from 6 to 10 of these questions, you have moderate empath tendencies. If you answered yes to 11 to 15 questions, you have strong empath tendencies, okay? Anywhere from 11 to 15 is strong empathic tendencies. If you answered yes to more than 15 questions, you are a full-blown empath. Anybody? Comment down below. If you answered yes to more than 15 questions, you are a full-blown empath, okay? Which, like I said, cannot feel like a gift, right? Okay, but so what, and there are what's called highly sensitives, okay? People that are highly sensitive, like to everything, you know, to energy, to medications, to food, to just a myriad of different things. And you can have highly sensitives and empaths, or somebody can be both, right? So what my take is on empaths, because see, we have a special ability to be able to feel things that other people can't feel. We have the ability to understand where somebody's coming from and be able to help them in ways that other people that can't feel that, they don't know. So if you can't feel things, then you don't know that you need to intervene, okay? So, and some of this is more when you're on like your spiritual path, and you know that light is illuminated, you're in your power, and you understand some of these different methods, like the clearing and healing method. I'm gonna have coming forth, more like a light foundation coming forth, that can really help people on their journey spiritually, right? So, but empaths, how I see it right now, is that it's like all hands on deck right now. So if you, and I'm not trying to overwhelm anybody, but I'm just saying that your gift is very much needed right now on this planet. Because if you feel things and you sense things and you know intuitively that things are going on, then you can intervene. Then you can wield that power. You can use your gift, right? And a lot of it is, I call us kind of like I don't want to say the cleanup crew, but in an essence, yes. Because sometimes, you know, we can physically feel things, and I really feel like this right now, that certain things that are not for our highest good, that could hold us all down, I'm talking about collectively, individually and collectively, that can hold us back from ascending into higher levels of consciousness, into different realities, is that are negative type things that can actually be offloaded through us. That means, or transmuted, right? Transmutation means you take something negative and you turn it to positive. Okay, so there are different levels of this, but I'm just saying, just you being here, I really feel like, whether or not you've known all this time that you are an empath or not, I really feel like right now that things are being offloaded through us, because this is a gift. Sometimes, you know, if you feel a bit off, if you feel like your headaches, or maybe you feel hot all of a sudden, those are classic, you know, negative energy will feel hot. Okay, positive will tend to feel cooler. This is something I've learned along the way. And so, you know, sometimes if you're, you know, out somewhere and if you happen to be among other people and you feel hot all of a sudden, sometimes I really feel like I think that things are just being offloaded through us. And I would just ask for things to just be released and let go. And like I said, I'm going to have methods. I'm going to be doing some videos specifically on different methods of how you can use these gifts and how you can wield your power and better know your power, and how to assist at this time in doing the work necessary to help us offload the things that are no longer serving us for our highest good, so that we can raise up in our level of consciousness, and we're going into the fifth dimension. It's fourth density, fifth dimension. The earth is already there. And many of us are living in the fifth dimension, but collectively as a people, as humanity, that's where we're going, in the fifth dimension. That is a Christ consciousness. That is the love vibration. That is that we understand that we are all one and we look out for each other. It is nothing like what you're seeing right now on the TV or any of that. A lot of that is just the last cries of the old power paradigm that is done. The gig is up. So there's going to be, like I said, a lot of good things coming, but there's going to be a lot of, I believe, public disclosures on truth. You can find it now. There is a lot of good information on Twitter. Like I said, you can find things on YouTube as well. But I would just encourage everybody to do the research, if you feel like that, like something doesn't really sit right, or you wonder, I wonder what's up with that. If you have any of that and you are empathic at all, I promise you there is a lot more to the story, and that's a clue for you. That's a sign that you need to dig into it a little bit, probably a lot, to actually understand and know the whole truth. And as you become one with yourself, as you come to know that power within you, who you really are more, and are in tune with that, your inner being, and you call it your inner being, your soul, your light body, you know, who you really are, your spiritual self, who you really are. And as you become more in tune with that, it will help guide you. Remember, you have your higher self, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your archangels, your guardian angels. There are archangels, there are the fairies, which are nature's angels as well. Ask them, they will help you. I promise you. They will help you understand things and guide you on your way. So I hope that was helpful. I know that this one has run a little bit long, but I felt like, I know a lot of the times if I'm listening to something, instead of just going to a link or something, if somebody actually goes through something with you, like a questionnaire, because I feel like it's that important that people understand who they are. And if you're empathic, that's a big part of understanding who you are, because you're wired differently. Okay. And like I said, it is a gift. So I just wanted to go through that with everybody. I hope that was helpful. If it is, if you find any value in it, hit the thumbs up, the like button, the subscribe button, the buttons, and comment down below and let me know if this was helpful. And I'll leave you with that, wishing everybody much love, light, and peace. And I'll say bye for now. Bye for now.